Okay, we're
Okay,
live, all right?
and I think we're live now. Indeed, we are live now on YouTube for very first episode of the New on Hustle show.
Yes, exactly. Our new secret project, and maybe now we will tell more about what this project will be exactly about. What's the form? What are the topics that we will be discussing here? Do you want to take it over from me, Zain? I guess you have the better understanding of it.
For me, okay. So I think for me, it's I think it's a bit of a background is that I do a full-time job at the moment, obviously, but I have an interest in entrepreneurship and I'm in the middle of trying to start a little side hustle business at the moment. So, but in the meantime, I've been studying a lot about marketing, about sales, and also a lot of times why when people are trying to start a business, they actually give up. So I guess the reason why we get together is just because we want to be the people who are there for you and with you, on the journey of entrepreneurship. It's always feeling like, oh, I'm doing a lot of things myself. I'm not really getting anywhere. There's no one who is there to support us. And we want to be the person who are there to sort of be on the same journey as you. We might be one or two steps ahead, but that's all you need. And the problem I find sometimes with a lot of mentors or gurus that you find outside is they are way too far ahead compared to where you are now. They can't really relate to what you're doing at the moment anymore. So for me, it's I really have a passion around marketing, etc. I love to learn the art of it, but I also have a specialized in mindset in all this sort of stuff. So hopefully, with both of those skills together, we can create something that helps not just you and me grow, but also help other members of the community grow as well. So Dan, over to you. What's the reason for starting this?
Yeah, for me, it's another channel to promote myself as a personal brand because I'm really focused on that lately. It's also another channel to promote my business, of course, digital marketing at the moment. But I have big plans for the future. I will probably enter many different businesses in my entrepreneurial career. But for now, it's digital marketing, and I guess starting a podcast, maybe not a podcast about digital marketing because I still don't feel in the position to discuss digital marketing in such a depth to start a podcast. But definitely I feel in a position to go out there and share my views and experience from my entrepreneurial journey. And you know if just now to someone who is watching us, if you are someone who is about to start your own business, then I started my own business like around 1.5 year ago. So we are not that far away from each other. So I guess my experience, my insights will be very valuable for people who are about to start, who are just 1 month in, 2 months in, 3 months in, etc., etc. Even sometimes for people who are even 5 years in, because maybe I noticed something already and they haven't noticed it after 5 years. So really sharing experiences is of great value for everyone, for a person who is sharing it with someone else, and for a person who is receiving it from someone else, of course.
Absolutely. And actually, we have, I know this is the first episode that we're doing, but we actually want to really try to think about what would be the first thing that when people are trying to start a business, they actually do. Like people always think, oh, it'll be good to start a business. But often people are thinking, oh, but what do I do next? So actually, we decided to start this first episode with the topic of starting with why, because everyone throws about this topic like, oh, not understand your why, know about your why, and you need to know your why to start a business and all those things. And it can be very overwhelming sometimes to like, if you don't understand your why, it's like a matter of life and death, but actually it's not quite like that. So I think Dan and I would just like to like share our thoughts around this right today, to just talk about what are our perspectives in terms of finding our why and starting with why, and actually to really show you or to share with you how we find ours, and hopefully that you can benefit from it. So Dan, would you like to kick off from on this about starting with why?
So do you want me to say something about why I started, in my
Yep.
entrepreneurial journey, or?
Exactly. I think the way that I will position that would be, I know I met you in a company setting, right? So and then you obviously graduated, you went off and decided to do your business, whereas more people will actually go and find like what's their next 9 to 5. Not that and there's anything wrong with 9 to 5, but I guess it's why did you decide to take the entrepreneurial path when some of your peers might not?
So actually, the reasons for me starting my entrepreneurial journey were not so ambitious, I would say. Like when I was a kid, a teenager, I already back then I started saying that I will be an entrepreneur one day, because my daddy is an entrepreneur. So I thought, like, yeah, like as a kid would say back then, yeah, my daddy is an entrepreneur, so I would like to be an entrepreneur when I grow up. Uh, and and the thing is that then, of course, the reasons like, uh, making a lot of money, being own boss, such
Yeah.
reasons, emerged in my head as a you know as a reason to start my entrepreneurial journey. And actually, then when I joined Toyota, the company that you still work for and the company where we met, um, at that time I realized that there is another reason why I want to be an entrepreneur. I want to be an entrepreneur because when you are an entrepreneur, then your uh, gratitude, your gratification that you get, is proportional to the effort you put in a, in a specific period of time. So if you are working better, smarter in a certain month, then you are earning more. If you are working, you know, in a very foolish way, some months, then you will probably get less money on that month. But then, it was about a year ago, I would say, when I truly found my my true reasons for becoming an entrepreneur. So I just have this great sense of wanting to start something from scratch, to build something. Um, Another reason that is very connected to it is to the fact that I want to leave some legacy. I'm well aware that I will not be an academic at any point. I will not publish any academic paper. So in a business way, I have to leave a legacy in a business way, right? So leaving my footprint, per se. And also another reason is that I have been always a bit rebellious. I I have I have always had a bit of a rebellious nature. So, wherever I go, I want to change something. I want to stir up something. So being an entrepreneur, it's an amazing way to do such a thing, because from my own experience from corporate jobs, if you go to the company, if you want to you can stir up something, you can change something, break something, and and build it from scratch, only if the company's culture will allow you for it. But most of the time, very very big companies uh, do not allow for that. So you have to be you have to be accountable for what's going on to be able to change it, right?
Mm,
So
mm.
how about yourself? What was your reason to do something additional, something extra besides your 9 to 5, as you said?
Yeah, no, that's very interesting because and it's quite nice because we do bring different perspectives, right? Like you're on the journey already, and I actually, I know that people our age probably think that entrepreneurship is like this glamorous thing that everyone goes for, but I actually really love my job. Like I love the company that I work for. I love the variety of tasks that I'm working on. So for me, when I think about like starting with why it's important, is because it's really about understanding or fully living and experiencing who we are or who I am as a person. So I get to a point, I think it was when there was one day when I was about to get to work, I was, go through a routine, etc. And then there's just a moment that struck in my head where I go, like, is this all there is? you know I just thought, there's just like a thought that goes, is this all there is in what I'm doing now? Is there perhaps more to it? And I think that was when I really started to like dig down and realize that, actually I quite like this thing. Or for example, like I always loved learning about like human behavior. When I was a really young kid, I'd read about like body languages and this and that, what makes successful people successful. And I was like, okay, let me just have a research online, like just read something that I like reading. And then that's when I come across things like coaching and mindset, etc., which is a venture that I want to start to get into now. But for me, it's like, it's really about me fully experiencing and exploring myself, and how can I make my best self come out. Because anyone can just do a 9 to 5 like comfortably, but I don't want to do that. I want to be doing my very best in my 9 to 5, but also outside from my 8 to 10, for example. Like, what is the best that I can do at that time? What can I do to pursue something that's inside me that I might not perhaps have the opportunity to display somewhere else? What is something that I want to create? And for me, that's why, I think that is a drive. And I think, we always talk about this start with why thing. I think starting with why, for me, is just that it helps me better understand myself, who I am as a person, and also what do I want to bring out, or what do I want to create. So yeah, that's probably the way that I would say, about starting with why. So I wonder, Dan, you talk about like entrepreneurship, etc. Is there, I think a lot of people will be thinking like, every time we talk about start with why, etc., people are like, okay, sounds really good, but how do you actually do that? I wonder, like, when you were searching for your why, do you always know what your why is, or did you have to go through like a process and really find out, oh, I think this is my why? So what's your view on that?
uh you know uh it's very complex process, I would say. And actually, when it comes to my thinking process, it's always very complex. I'm still trying to find ways to better structure my thinking process. But very often the best ideas are just a spur of a moment for me. So for example, I'm showering, and now it hit me that, oh, that's a great and that's a great idea. I should go for it. um, but when it comes to my entrepreneurial wise, I would say, uh, it was, I guess, maybe a bit cliche, but it was Gary V speaking about entrepreneurship in one of his books, and 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 at that moment I realized how wrong I was about my my contemporary whys, how wrong I was about my so-called motivation for chasing my business, and since then it's the when you find your true why, the this why that will make you tickle a bit inside, I would say, then you will find this drive for action, because if you are going for petty things, or if or what's worse, if you are going after whys that are not your own whys but the whys of someone else, of a group of people, of a society, etc., etc., then you will not be so driven, in my sense. But if you find your own why, then only then you can be very driven, and move the mountains, get your goals, whatever. What's your view on that? Like, because I guess my view sort of is based in my experience, and maybe my education, my cultural background, and I guess for you it might be a bit different.
So I have been really thinking about this, like we try to answer the question like how do we do it, and is there a step by step, is there like a foolproof way that you would take by just going 1, 2, 3, ta-da, here's your why, but what was interesting was when you said, you came across Gary Vaynerchuk, for example, and then they give you sort of the inspiration about your why. And for me, finding our why is about finding the thing that inspires me, and I think the key word is not so much about the why. I think the key word is about the find. Are we willing? Am I willing to go and experience different things, try different things out in order to find that thing that would inspire me? I think that is the step that we all should take in order to find our so-called whys. And I think that's the thing that people really don't want to do, because, the truth is, finding a why is not like just go outside, walk around, ta-da, you got an inspiration, that's my why. It doesn't work like that. Actually, it's about trying this, and did you get inspired by that? Maybe, you may not, you maybe not. And for me, I think it's that process that we all have to go through. It might be 2 steps. Some people might find their why very easily, and it's like, I know this, and this is it. Some people might take a few turns. Some people might take a long time in order to find it. But for me, the truth is there's just no one specific way of saying follow 1, 2, 3, and then you will find it. So the way that I sort of found mine was I read. So if I say, for example, I'm watching YouTube and then I found an author, for example, let's say, when we talk about Start With Why, I always think about Simon Sinek, because he wrote about a book called Start With Why. Then I'll read that book, to see what is it about. And then he referenced some resources. I might read a certain sentence and it's like, oh, this is quite interesting. This person up, and that person might have his or her own book. Then I think that's how I started to expand, and YouTube videos are a very great source, So for example, like people are watching this. Now that we've talked about this thing, you might actually realize, oh, that gave me a little bit of inspiration, and you might want to explore that, Don't let that slip. You have to explore that. And another thing for me is also, I would actually say, really, really, really pay attention to the moment when you are really, what are the moments where you're really enjoying it and you feel like time goes really quickly without you realizing it? Because what that tells me is that you are in a flow, you are really enjoying what you're doing at that time. And you might actually want to explore that, because, for example, people like reading, but they might not realize that reading is part of their why, perhaps, So for me, it's really just about being open to exploration and being open to use different sources that can potentially inspire you and help you just feel. I think you mentioned it, like makes you, I don't know, one of my mentors called make your soul sizzle. It's like zzz, oh, I can feel that thing, like that's the feeling that you want to get to.
Okay, but what you said about YouTube earlier, I just I didn't want to interrupt you, but I thought like, hey, I hope that maybe today or maybe next week, only 2 weeks, there will be a person like yourself who will be watching us, and they will be inspired by what we are saying. That's another why for us with creating this podcast, right? So that we
Mm,
can inspire someone else to
mm.
take an action by either starting their own business or maybe changing something in their current business, right?
Mm, exactly that. I think, when we were discussing this project, we also talk about we want to start like a community, right? Because I don't know about you, Dan, but I feel like, people in our age, we a lot of the times feel like we are going and do things our own way. We have to do it ourselves. It's like it's all me, me, me. But actually, I think the power is in the we. So that's why me and you do this together, because I might not do it myself if I were doing it. Let's face it, but because me and you do it together, I feel like I'm accountable to you. You might feel like you're accountable to me. And now we're making this happen. And how can we just use our energy to bring more people like us who think like us together? And then we can learn from them. And then perhaps they can also learn from us. And we can all grow together. So that was the idea, wasn't it?
Exactly, exactly.
Yeah. So another thing then that we said that we are going to talk about was some problems with why and can it evolve over time. So I personally really like this topic. So, but I'll let you go first.
Okay, so when it comes to evolution of why, I guess I touched on it already, with my own um, evolution of why. So how I started with my whys for being an entrepreneur, how it evolved over time, and what it is right now. Uh, but the thing is that my contemporary whys right now are perceived as good by myself at the moment, but maybe in 2 years, in 3 years, in 5 years, 10 years, 15 years, they will be all wrong. And it's fine. They might be all wrong because we mature, we gain more experience, we gain more insights, and we should redefine certain things in our lives over time. Another problem with why is that I wanted to refresh my memory about what Simon Sinek was talking about why, and the most important thing that he said about finding your why is misconception. The result is not why, you know. So people think that, oh, my why is to earn a lot of money, but actually earning a lot of money is a result. It's not your reason, you know.
Mm, mm,
So that's the major problem with why. So and maybe one thing is defining result as your why, which is incorrect. But also you can find uh, a why that you think is good for you, but but it might turn out so bad uh, in the end, and of course making mistakes is all right. It's part of entrepreneurial journey, but at the same time it's good to consult it somehow with your friends, I would say, maybe with a fellow entrepreneur, maybe with your mentor if you have one. Yeah, I guess it's good to share views even on such you know inner views as your whys.
mm, mm. That's really nice. Yeah, I really resonate with that message, you know. Personally, I was in a I think I was in a clubhouse discussion one day where people are talking about like purpose and why, you know, for me they're pretty much the same thing. And I mentioned in there that I think a lot of people when we talk about like why and purpose, we give ourselves a lot of pressure. Like we have to know what our why is. It's as if the thing won't change, and once you find it, that's it. So, and I just think that it's probably not true, you know, because I think it can change over time depending on what you've learned, what your experience are, your circumstances. For example, like, you know, I'm not afraid to say this, but let's say, for example, I want to start a coaching business on the side. I decided it's an important thing to me, but as I grow, let's say 5 years, 10 years, 15 years, maybe when I have maybe I have a kids or when I have a family, I might realize that, you know what, sort this. My why is now my family. I want to spend more time with them, etc. You know, and I think we are just a lot of us are just like we are trying to hang on to this thing called why because it forms part of our identity, and it does. It's just that we shouldn't give ourselves a pressure to go, oh, I have to find that one thing. Because the truth is, you might also have like 2 whys, 3 whys, 4 whys, 5 whys, depending on the situation you're in. Like now, we're doing this. My why is to like work with Dan, deliver quality and inspiring content to everybody, and that is our why now. But when I'm in my shower, I might think my why is to make myself clean and tidy, and I can go to bed like nice, you know. So for me, it's just like that's where I see why. I don't see my why as like my life purpose or everything. I think that's quite big, and because it's overwhelming for me, I try to like break it down into moments. Um, it's like at this moment in time, what is my why? You know, and um, I think I agree with you that it will evolve over time, but the challenge is, are we ready to relinquish that control and just accept that yes, it's now changing, but how can I embrace this new piece of my why? So yeah, I really like the question. I think you put this question in, which I think it's a really good question. I really like that.
Yeah, but you know the thing is that there is a problem. It's not strictly related to our topic, but kinda is that I can see that there is like great problem with integrity overall these days.
Mm,
Uh, okay, maybe without these days because maybe the problem with integrity was also 50 years ago, but we don't know about it. But never mind. Problem with integrity. Uh, People like to say that they have integrity, but the truth is that they don't. The best example is that people want to pretend to be ambitious, smart, and stuff like that, right? And it's most of people. Most of people in the world would say that they are ambitious, they are smart. But at the end of the day, what are the most viewed and most engaging contents in social media? I would take it as a benchmark, you know. So if you go to TikTok, YouTube, the most viewed, the most engaging content are about some bullshit, about something non-ambitious, about something not so smart. So that's the problem with integrity. People like to say that they have integrity, but the truth is they don't.
mhm,
And it relates to why sometimes people don't want to change their whys. At least they say they don't want to change their whys because they want to still have this integrity.
mhm. And why do you think people would hold on to that integrity? Like, why would they want to? Why would they do that?
because their so-called integrity uh, is how they want to be viewed,
Mm,
but not what they actually are.
mm. So they want to be seen as like smart, knowing what they're doing,
Yeah,
but the truth is, it's not who they are yet, and they're trying to pretend to be somebody who they are not.
yeah, exactly. Sorry for going such an off topic right now, but I haven't thought about it before. But
Mm,
what you said about people being too afraid to change over time, just made me think, because it's just working on my nerves, I would say. That sometimes I want to promote some of my content which I seem is which I think is valuable, and might even change someone's life, right? And then I see that a guy on TikTok who is I don't know, doing some stupid dance, or maybe or even saying something extremely offensive to certain group of people. This guy is trending. This guy is going viral.
mm, mhm.
But maybe we should I guess we should leave this topic for a single show. I guess we will have very heated discussion, because it's really working my nerves.
Yeah, you'll be like shouting over the microphone.
Yeah, I will be shouting, and me raging about it. It will go viral. You will see.
Yeah, but no, that's very interesting because that's quite provoking. But let's bring it back. You know, we're talking about
Yeah,
why,
let's
we're talking
bring
about
it back.
problems and
Let's bring
why.
it back. Yeah.
Otherwise, we can go off a big tangent. I know that we're actually half an hour into the show already, which is quite quick. And then I know we said that we want to keep it quite compact so that it's just like not wasting people's time when they're hearing it. It's just like just keep giving in the shortest amount of space of time that we can because we know everyone's time is valuable. So I guess at this very last sort of few moments, are there anything else that you want to add in that we probably haven't covered yet in terms of why? Yeah.
Uh, I'd just say that the why that you will find for yourself. Uh, okay. Like the why that you find for yourself in your personal life, and also the whys that you find for yourself in your business life, should not be conflicting. That's the one thing that I think we didn't mention, because very often uh, people want to do two things simultaneously, I would say. And and it's and very often it's conflicting, so they want to eat a pie and have a pie, right?
Mm,
And and you just have to find your whys in such a way that they are not conflicting, that you can do both things. But actually your whys from your personal life, and your whys from your business life, your career or whatever, or maybe you are sportsman, you but I guess maybe it's more of a personal why.
mm.
But both of those things go to just one thing. So actually, ultimately, the only why is to be happy in your life, and you just have to find those smaller whys that will ultimately make you happy.
Yeah, I love that. I love that. I love how you said that, you know, at the end of the day, the one thing will not change. And I think we are very aligned with that. You know, you talk about like the why they want to get to is become happy. And I fully agree with that. Like for me, at the end of the day, it's about just feeling happy and feeling, I think, fully alive is the way that I want to describe it. It's like that zest, in your life that you're experiencing. I don't care whether it's your career, your business, your sports, your cooking, your living, your relationship, your family, everything. Everything that those little moments for me at the end of the day is about feeding. Um, it's about feeding that aliveness inside me, and like I really think that is that's that's a really good way of ending it. And actually, the way that I would sort of position it is also just to say that don't be afraid to explore all the little whys as well. Like, don't drive straight into that one thing, because you have to do all these little things first to get that one thing. The way I describe it is like, like sports cars, right? Cars. You can have like Ferrari, you can have like BMW, you can have Mercedes, you can have whatever. They can all exist in like different colors, different speeds, different motors, engines, whatever. But they're the basics which will not change. It's like four wheels and an axle that goes between them. So for me, the why is, what is your four wheels and what is your axle? But the way that you'll find it is to drive different cars, try different things, then you'll find the one that best suits you. And I think that's just the way that I would sort of put it.
Yeah, amazing.
Yeah,
Well said, mate.
cool. Sounds good. Right. I think just to finish off, we clearly want to engage with more people. This is only the first episode, and I'm really enjoying it. I'm sure you're enjoying it as well, right? It's really
Oh
nice.
yeah, yeah. I'm actually, um, I was not nervous before the episode, but I took into consideration the fact that it's the first episode. We might be a bit, not so fluent, I would
Fluent.
say.
Mm,
Yeah, I was afraid that the flow of the conversation will not be there, but actually, it's amazing because we are live right now,
mm,
and I feel the same as during our every Thursday call.
mm. Yeah, exactly. It's amazing. So, I guess just to before we depart, for people who are viewing, I'm super grateful that you're actually watching. You might have joined midway, you might have stayed with us from the beginning until the end. No matter where you are, it's super great to see you. We would love to interact with you at some point, and we are obviously still working. This is only our first step. We're going to work on the second step, etc. But somewhere down in the description, sooner or later, we will put in a link where you are able to just put your email address in, and we will keep telling you when we are going live, etc. And also, we are going to take some questions from people. If you have specific things you want us to talk about, then we are obviously more than happy to cover it. And all we want to do is to, like we said, I think, to bring like-minded people together where we bounce ideas off, we support each other. It's a community at the end of the day. So if you're interested, leave a comment below. We can reach out to you, or come back tomorrow, because we will make sure the description is all done properly. There's a link for you to put your email address in. So yeah, that's all I want to say. Is there anything else, Dan? Or we good to go?
No, I think that the only thing that is left for us to wish everyone, 4 more productive days this week. You have
Yeah,
you have 4 more days to make this week very productive, not only 2. That's
yeah.
that's one of the common misconceptions.
Because we're on Wednesday, yeah. So that's why it's 4 days.
Yeah, exactly,
Yeah.
exactly.
Wonderful. Okay, so we are doing this live every Wednesday, 8 p.m. UK time, 9 p.m. European time. So if you like it, hit the subscribe button. I hate to say this, but I was like, if you really like it, hit the bloody button.
Yeah.
We will reach out, we will interact, we'll work with
And
you.
thumbs up if you like, because it will help the algorithms to show this broadcast to more people. So thumbs up, subscribe
Channel.
this channel, and also in the upcoming week we'll probably create some social media channels so you can interact with us over there. But for now, you can also look us up on our personal social media channels on Instagram, LinkedIn, Facebook, and reach out to us, say hi. If you want to discuss something, we'll probably find some time for you.
Exactly. We will make time for you. Okay, cool. Let's leave it there. And it's really good to finish our first episode, finish on the high, and we'll see you all next Wednesday, same time.
Next Wednesday. Yes.
Okay. See you, everyone. Take care.
Bye.
Goodbye.